What's up? This is Evan with Crypto Cash Campus, where we talk about how to make passive income in the DeFi space with the goal of getting 1,000 of you to make 50 bucks a day. And it's really not that hard. So today we're going to jump in and talk about DeFi Kingdoms and the massive airdrop they're doing because it's on the Harmony 1 chain. And they're creating a whole nother parallel game on Avalanche. And they're going to have a token crystal rather than jewel. So let's show you about this. So this is the game. And you may be wondering, okay, it's a big game, like why does this even matter? Well, some of you care a lot because you've seen the price action on this. Look, 7 days. Let's go 1 month. It's gone from $6, I think I got in around here. And then Euphoria Phase 1, Euphoria Phase 2, dip and go. 20 bucks, so it's like tripled, which is amazing. But what makes this amazing is, if you look at Harmony 1, and these are all the different chains, the DeFi chains. And you go down to Harmony 1, yeah, it's way down here at the bottom. Actually, it's 13. What is Harmony 1? Well, it's mostly DeFi Kingdoms. It's almost at $1 billion total locked value. And the next one is a multi-chain. Next one is a multi-chain. So pretty much DeFi Kingdoms makes up Harmony 1, just to give you a little significance. So I'm going to go over the different ways that if you have Jewel and you're doing something with it, you can actually get the crystal airdrop. So this is going to be mostly focused on people who don't have a lot of heroes and have not gotten into all of the NFTs, because I haven't. I don't know a ton about it. But so what the bank is doing is that if they're allocating 600,000 crystal for everyone in the xJEWEL holders. So you're like, what is this? Okay, maybe you do know, you buy Jewel. Where do you buy Jewel? Well, here, you're at the app, click play, then you end up here. So you can buy Jewel over here. Let me show you again. I clicked on Marketplace. And you go to Trader, and then you can switch it to Jewel. Remember, there's a ton of liquidity for everything to Jewel, so you can buy Jewel very easily. So we're gonna go max this out. I'm not going to buy any Jewel right now, but I have a bunch of Harmony 1, wait for it to connect, and from that point you can just buy Jewel. So that's step 1. But the main part about this is that they're actually allowing you to do something where if you have Jewel X, which is like, it sounds weird, but it's just staking Jewel by itself, like a single-sided staking. And you go to the teller, and what is it? You deposit Jewel, and for every 1 Jewel you get 1.65, or for 1 Jewel X, it costs you 1.65 Jewel. Okay, very ambiguous. What's the rate? What are we getting paid? That's what we're wondering. Well, there's this cool website called kingdom.watch/bank. And right now the bank's paying out 25%. Not amazing, but you know, if you're gonna hold, if you're gonna actually do the airdrop, you just need it between I think it's up to between now, I think it was the 3rd, in January, the first 3 weeks of January. So January 1st to January 22nd is the time they're taking the snapshots of how long you've had the Jewel staked. The Jewel here, it's the only snippet of time that matters. So the longer you have it in, the more amount you have, the bigger the proportional airdrop you're going to be receiving. So let's go down to phase 1. Okay, so now we know how to get those. You just go over here and you stake your Jewel and you're making 25%. Okay, so what are some other options? So number 2 is crystal airdrop for hero owners. So if you own a hero, that's awesome. You are going to be getting 1 crystal for the cheap ones, and that's about 30. I think the cheapest hero is about 30. So if you want to buy a hero, you go over to the tavern, and I think it's pretty expensive seeing that every single jewel is 20 bucks now. So you go to buy heroes, and we're looking at like a floor of 33. And I know nothing about these things, but some are good, some are not. And there's probably videos out there that tell you a lot more about this. Look at all these, the scores are high. But, you know, 34. So, I mean, if we were to do this, 34 times 20, look, and the minimum is $680. That's crazy. So just keep that in mind. You know, hopefully the price comes down. So yeah, if you do it for each hero, you get 1, 2, 3 crystal, 4 crystal. Awesome. The cool thing about crystal is that, you know, say the market cap, the total supply of jewel is 500 million, but the total supply of crystal is 1/4 of that, so 125 million. So it's a quarter of the supply, which theoretically means that the price could be up to 2 to 4 times higher. Okay, number 3, the other way to get the crystal airdrop is for each new hero summoned. Yeah, summoning is another thing you can do if you're into that. It's a little bit more complex, but we go over to the portal and you talk to the summoner and you obtain crystals. You do a lot of stuff, and then you can summon them, and in the process you can actually get some rewards. And what are these rewards looking like? They're going to give out, they're actually just going to give out a few of these really expensive Gen 0 players, which are worth a lot. But you know, the amount of people who do this, I think the odds of actually getting an NFT, one of these characters, is going to be relatively low. Okay, airdrops for Bridge Jewel. This is one thing I looked into, which looks less appealing when I look at the actual swap. So what you do is you go to any swap, and what you do is you click on router. We went from Harmony 1 to Avalanche, clicked on Jewel. And what I didn't like is when I looked into this, it says the minimum cross-chain fee is 0.94 Jewel. So it costs for a minimum $20, with a maximum being $400, maybe 190 Jewel. So that would be, you know, ridiculous, $4,000. So this is just a little bit ridiculous. You need a minimum of at least 2 Jewel. And this is something you can do, but maybe it's better just selling your jewel and buying it on Avalanche, which is another option. If you go over to Pangolin, I think that's how you say it, this is the AVAX swap. So what you can do is swap AVAX for jewel. And you can get AVAX by sending it from Coinbase, from, you know, almost any exchange has AVAX, and it's on the AVAX chain. It's not an ERC20 token. So you send the AVAX from Coinbase to your MetaMask, and it actually lands in your AVAX wallet. You have to deal with any Ethereum expenses or fees or bridging, which is awesome. So look, you can do that right here, and you can actually just buy jewel here. Jewel's a little expensive now, as I just showed you. It's kind of pumping, but everyone wants the airdrop, so I could totally see why. All right, so we've got a bridge, which not totally, you don't need to bridge, you just need to have jewel on AVAX. Okay, airdrops for jewel LP holders in the Serendale Gardens. This just sounds weird, doesn't it? Serendale. Unless you're into this, you're like, okay, just call it the Gardens. We don't need to Serendale. What this really means is that you've staked some freaking coins, all right? So we're gonna go to the Gardens, and this is where, I mean, I've made some good money from Defi Kingdoms. I don't get into the NFTs, and if you do, that's awesome. It just takes a little bit more time than I have. I have a seed box, and I go to harvest. Okay, let me just connect my wallet. Okay, so here we're in the garden, and we can just go to seed box, which is where you see, I mean, this is pretty amazing to see 1.1 billion locked up in this. This is pretty big, and there's a lot of utility for this token. So you're seeing that you know, you have unlocked rewards, and the thing with Jewel is they unlock a proportion of your rewards. I think it's like 40% get unlocked immediately, 60% get held for a longer time. So, I mean, this is pretty amazing. I didn't put much into this. I probably already made half my money back within a couple of weeks. But, you know, you can see that if you were to pull out your jewel, or you have jewel, or anything staked here, you can make a proportion of, let's see what it says. They're going to give out 300,000 crystals divided up. I mean, we can do this calculation right now. So assuming that they actually do this the way I think they're going to do it, is that if you divide the 300,000 crystal between the $1.1 billion in the gardens staked, that's in the farm, then each dollar invested would be yielding 0.027 crystal. So say you had 0.072. Let's go 0.027. 0.027 times you put $1,000 into the farm, then you would be potentially making 27 crystal. Is that pretty good or what? All right, I did the calculation a little wrong. This is the more accurate amount of jewel you would be getting per dollar invested in the farms. So we're going to copy that. We're going to say multiply that by 1,000. So if you throw 1,000 into the farms, you would be making this many jewel, 0.27 jewel. So if you had 4,000 jewel in there, you would be making if you had $4,000, whether that's jewel and the other pair, you'd be making one crystal. So, I mean, if crystal is like $4 or $5, not a big deal. So, I think in terms of the best way to get the yield, it's probably somewhere between the LPs, meaning money's in the garden, or you actually have a little bit of jewel right there over in pretty much in the place where you actually have 600K jewel eroded to xJEWEL holders. So if we were to quantify that one right there, I think this is the second best. Okay, so I just needed 1 second to crunch the numbers, but now this is very clear. So for the farm, for every $1,000 in staked value you have in the garden, the farm, you will make 0.27 crystal. We don't know the value of crystal, but let's say it's the same, 20 bucks. Awesome, you make $5 for every 1,000. You never know the price until it actually comes out, but every time you have the xJEWEL, and what exactly that means is this guy right here. So you go over here to the bank and you stake your xJEWEL. Remember I said you will be making 25%. If you keep it there, you'll be making an incredible amount actually, which is you'll be making 1.875 crystal. And that is just by taking this number. There's 16 million jewels, so I took the 600,000 jewel crystal that it's going to be distributed, divided that by the 16 million jewels there, and you're getting a pretty good amount. So to me, if you want to get some crystal, throw it in this. So yeah, if you want to make some money with DeFi Kingdoms and you want to get into the airdrops for the Avalanche crossover they're doing, check this out. This is going to be a huge opportunity. And if you're already in this DeFi Kingdoms game, might as well just bridge over to Avalanche and spread the wealth. This game is pumping, and I think there's a lot of opportunity in it. And if you haven't gotten in now, it's not too late. Get the airdrop, get over to Avalanche, and make sure to like this video. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, keeps this video out to more people. And if you want to make $50 at least passive income a day, please subscribe or think about subscribing. Ask me questions at Twitter. So Crypto Cash Camp at Twitter. So you're just going to find me at Crypto Cash Camp. I'm there to answer any questions. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you see my camping spot in the top, just hit it and you get a subscribe. And I will talk to you guys soon.